What's up, fellow engineers? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be covering the new heavy industrial update and all the blocks contained. Now I hope you're ready, because this has about maybe 100 new blocks, and we're not going to cover every single aspect, but we're just going to show you what I've done so far and what's in the new update. Now what I basically say to you that this update is pretty cool. But before we get into the showcase, if you like the content, please hit the like button. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. So, the heavy industrial or industry update is crazy. Yeah, it's added a lot more blocks, new variants of engines, new different types of landing gear, which are magnetic lock pads, buttons, armor plates, I-beams or steel beams, whatever they're called. Let's have a look. Beams, well, they're called I-beams. Different paintworks, different cosmetics for your refineries and assemblers, and pipes, columns, new hydrogen tanks, different pictures. There's loads. So let's start by covering the different engine types. Now, as you can see, I have obviously the standard hydrogen engine, large grid, and small large grid down there, and then we have basically a different design of the hydrogen engine, which is a 1 block higher. It's exactly the same size in diameter, but it's 1 block higher and looks fantastic. If I had these for my rocket builds, especially these, they look like proper rocket engines, which I think are pretty cool. And obviously you can find them right at the very end nearly of the build menu at the bottom there. Now these ones come into the paid content, obviously the hydrogen engines. The free content is a simple magnetic block, armor plates, 3 LCD screens like pictures which I have here, and a small merge block, which we'll cover in a minute. So that's the free stuff. But with the paid stuff, we have obviously engines, we have different types of magnetic locks which act as landing gear. So basically exactly the same as landing gear, but obviously as you can see they're a lot different. We have a fancy little three button panel, or three panel button. That makes any sense? Which is pretty cool. Obviously, like I said, we got nice paintwork, which is like construction hazard type of paintwork. Looks pretty cool. I like it. This is our new hydrogen tank, which I have very many ideas of what I could do with these, especially on spaceships. But obviously these are pretty cool. I think they're the same capacity as a standard one, so they're 750 liters, and a normal hydrogen tank, if I can get one up, is 750 liters. So yeah, they're both exactly the same literage. And one of the best things about this update, we finally get proper pipes. Now unfortunately they're only for large grid, so don't get your hopes up for small grid, which I did. But these are large grid pipes, and they come in various different forms. You obviously got a bend, you got a cross section, straight. You also have end connectors, which are over here. So we've got an end there, which looks pretty cool going into a device. We also have a tube sorter, which is what this one is here, which is exactly the same as a conveyor sorter. So you could go in there and you could do drainal and stuff like that. So it's basically a sorter. And we do have basically a junction with all sides, which is this one here. So we have all angles, or all directions with a conveyor tube on it. So it's pretty good. And they look amazing. They really do. As you can see, I've made like a bit of a system here, and they look quite cool. We have a new form of a large cargo container, which is more square, but it only has like conveyor ports there, and obviously there, and obviously one on the bottom, but not on one side. You know, or should I say mirrored sides. You know, so just be careful when you're putting them in. One of my favourite features of this build as well is these I-beams. Because these I-beams you can create, as you can see, proper like detail now for especially like for factories or warehouses and stuff like that, like structures. Now obviously I haven't covered it over with like a wall or anything else, I just left it open as kind of like a garage or like a dock feel. So you can make quite a lot of like structures out of this, and I think they're pretty cool. And again, you have various different forms. Essentially every single block you have like here, like the square block, and like square block, angle block, then obviously that block, that block, that block, that block, and obviously rounded blocks you have. So obviously you got a round block there, straight block. We have like 0 to 1 block there, got a single block going down to obviously the 1 to 2 block there, and obviously we have our angle block. We have T-junctions, we have cross-section junctions, so basically all the inside of the girders match up, so it's all pretty cool. I do really like it. Amount of things you can make. Another good feature we have armor plates, so it's like an additional layer of armor that's thin on the side of your ship or vehicle, whatever. And we have very many different angles, as you can see. We'll go through them here. So they basically cover very many different angles. The only one I wish they could have put in, which they may do, is for the windows we get these ones. So you can make like these. Now, the amount of times I want to build a ship and you need something like that, but obviously a plate or something just to cover, yeah, it could come in handy, but we don't have that type of angle anywhere here. We do have angle blocks, but no triangle blocks to make a pyramid. So yeah, they kind of like dropped the ball on that one, because they should have added like that in. But what can you do? It's an update after all. It's not a mod. Yeah, obviously if you come over here, we have small grid stuff. Now it's generally the same. We have a small grid, like large magnetic block, and we have a tiny one as well. And as you can see, I got one on the floor there, so we have our small grid stuff on this magnetic block on the bottom. But basically it's so tiny, it's going to be awesome for landing gears. Again, we have hydrogen engines cosmetics. Now as you can see, there's a standard one there, so it's again slightly longer and looks so much cooler. The creme de la creme, the best thing of this update in my opinion, is the single merge block. Now I know there is a mod for single merge blocks, but this thing for my vanilla builds, because I obviously, as you're aware, I build rockets, this little device is going to come in so handy for my rockets. I just wish I just had the patience to go back and redo all my rockets with all these new blocks, but going forward these blocks are going to be what I'll be using. Just can't wait to start using them. Again, we have girders in small grid, all different types, so everything's the same, so you can basically build something like that in small grid. And we have obviously the plates as well, all the angle plates in small grid. So again, you know, very handy. Still missing obviously those triangle ones, but that is all the small grid stuff for this update. Now obviously I like to build more in small grid than I do large grid, so it's kind of a bit of a bummer that we don't get cosmetics for like tubing, hydrogen tanks, and obviously cargo containers. But like I said, it's an update, like from the actual Keen, the developers update, so yeah, you gotta just roll with what you get, I suppose. and it's definitely worth £3.20. You know, so we're gonna come over here now. We're gonna have a look at our refinery now. Obviously, I built around it, but essentially the refinery has this little like stairwell that you can go up if it lets me. Is it this button? I think the buttons. Get rid of the button. Better. There you go. So now, obviously, this refinery, you've got a little stairwell. It's nothing like major, but it's pretty well detailed with buttons and stuff. You can go up to a second layer. You can also attach these grated panels or grated catwalks to this section, which I'm pointing at now, because that's the section on the refinery. And obviously, the refinery still has conveyor belts, like there on the bottom. Has the modifiers on it and a conveyor tube on top. But essentially as well, like, you can actually do it so you have a catwalk going to your refinery. Now your refinery, again, there's nothing here you can interact with, which is a shame, because it'd be nice to have like a panel there that you can interact with inside the assembler. And again, up here for refinery, is this one it? Oh, there's one up here. So we've got one up here for the refinery, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but again, there's not one on the assembler, so they kind of dropped the ball there. You could have easily put one there. But I think this update is pretty damn cool, if you ask me, for like industrial stuff. Now again, we've got pipes, and another thing that I like, which is only for large grid. I think it's for large grid only. Let me have a look. No, we do have small grid columns as well, so missed that one. So we have small grid columns. Now they are solid, so they're not hollow. So we could do some builds with, like, you know, columns. You can make like an ancient Greece building with these columns. You know what I'm saying? It's completely down to you what you want to do. But obviously mine are basically done like chimney stacks with what you call them, exhausts on top with fire. Yeah, so it kind of looks like a proper factory burning away, doing its stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Another good cosmetic design. Completely non-functional. They're just cosmetic blocks, but I still think they're cool. But again, you know, we have these panels. Now coming up to these buttons are pretty cool. I like these buttons. Now these buttons will come in handy for like base building. Again, they're cosmetic buttons because it's only 3 buttons on these compared to your 4 buttons, which is get one. So obviously that's your standard Ford. Obviously there's a sci-fi one of them, and obviously you have to press button, yada yada yada. But with these ones, we have the big red button. And then we have 2 buttons here as well. Now I've set up a little thing here with grinder system, pistons and stuff, just to show you what you could do. So let's have a look. So I'm gonna press this button and it extends our piston up there out. And we're gonna drop it down. Should connect to both of them. Lift the back up. Oh, I do have a go. Got a little magnet block there just because it kept rolling away when I was driving. There we go. Whoop. And now we can come to this one. We can. Nope. That one. So that's your grinders on. So let me turn them off a sec. Wrong one. I'm messing this up. Alright, top one. There we go. Now it's coming over. With obviously our hazards, because there's a grinding pit. We're going to turn on our grinders. And then we're going to press the big red button to drop them in. Oh, one flew out. I wonder if I can get it with the... Probably won't be able to. Yeah, I can get it. Sweet. This is going to drop straight in place. Doesn't matter. Well, it's just an example of what you can do with the stuff. Now, I'm hoping Keen hears this because I really want them to add different types of pistons, not conveyor tubes, but like a pulley system or something that you can run along a girder. So instead of it being on like a 3 piston, it goes out to 10 meters, you can have something that you can run all the way along here and then back again, or you go left and right and stuff. Because I really want something like that, yeah, especially for like elevators, because that'd be pretty cool. I think that's about everything now within the update I've shown you. Again, you know, this obviously some of it's free, some of it's not. With the free stuff, you only get the basically the pad. So you get this pad and the small pad. You get all the armor plates plus the small merge block and the posters for your screens. And then for the paid content, you get all the cosmetics for your assembler, refinery, hydrogen, pipes, cargo boxes, columns. So obviously, and then you get your hydrogen cosmetic as well, your pipes, which for large grid only, all your girders, which are what I believe I'm looking at. So the girders are obviously paid content as well, and obviously your new button panel. So just be aware that obviously you won't be able to get some of what I've showcased here if you haven't paid the DLC, but for £3.20 it's definitely worth it to increase your building like stuff, building skills, build your quality of building, even the ideas. Yeah, you're only limited by your imagination. So on that note, I've been Dr. McKay. Thank you ever so much for watching and joining me in this update showcase. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. It does mean a lot if you do. I'm trying to get up to 500 subscribers, so if you do like my content, please hit that please hit that subscribe button. So thank you again for watching. Until the next time, I'll catch you later. Cheers.